This is Jay with J&L Video Postcards. Today's adventure brings us to Sleepy Hollow, New York, which was originally known as North Tarrytown, but in 1996 they adopted the original name for the area, which is Sleepy Hollow, which you might recognize from the 1820 story by Washington Irving, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. But as you'll come to learn, there's actually some additional ghost stories, and Sleepy Hollow is actually known as the most haunted town or village in the United States. And ironically, it's also one of the most safe in terms of crime. So I hope you enjoy the video. Here you see the Bronze Lady, which is a bronze sculpture of a woman in mourning constructed outside the mausoleum of Civil War General Samuel Thomas, who made his millions in coal and railroads after the Civil War. When he died in 1903, his widow Anne had this constructed for him. This has its own ghost story with it. A girl at the age of 7 or 8 ran in here in the early 20th century, and she found the woman crying and weeping, and she told this story to her descendants and her friends, and now the local high school students both use this as a dare and a story to frighten each other. You have to wander through the cemetery a little bit before you get to Headless Horseman's Bridge, which is, if you remember your Washington Irving, this is the site where they found nothing of Ichabod Crane but a pumpkin. This was the original road through town, but it was changed in the early 20th century. But I found this to be a very peaceful place. Just listen to the water and look at the fall foliage. As I wander these shores, which is the home of a former GM manufacturing plant, where they're developing fancy restaurants and luxury apartments, I can't but think of the stories of the ghosts that wander the shore, or I even read one of the Flying Dutchman sailed into the harbor. I encourage everyone to come check this town out. I didn't know what to expect. I showed up in town and I flipped open Google Maps and I just started driving around and looking at things. And there's so much more to see than I saw here. I think I just got wound up in the history of the cemetery. And after about 4 hours, I ran out of time and I had to come home. But I will be back. I promise you, I will be back. So, very cool.